Good morning. It is Monday, January 7th, and this is Dr. Bob Flower with your Master Pattern Report. Those of you who I missed, Happy New Year once again. Okay, so let's see how we fared last week. I think we figured out why the Master Pattern was pretty regularly off by one day this past year, and I think it was because it was a leap year. Because beginning of the year we started off boom. The 31st we had a direct call, direct hit. The second and the fourth with both silver, actually with all of them, silver, oil, and the S&P. Um, the one big call that we missed for the year, of course, was the metals. We felt that we were going to see a huge run up in the metals. They made a meager attempt on the 31st, on last Monday, but then we're shot back down. We think that there is some sort of pattern that we have not yet seen that's obviously at work here, because the ones that we're seeing are showing huge rises in the gold and the silver. So and it's very unusual for us to be off with timing, not direction. So just bear with us a little longer here, and let's see what happens. We're looking at some. As for this week, here's what we're looking at. We're looking at. We definitely think that the the 8th, which is tomorrow, we're going to see a good move in oil, and we believe that that will be an up move. On the 9th, we'll see a move on the S&P. The 11th and the 15th, we're looking at moves in silver, especially on the 11th, because that's been confirmed by we're now tracking gold to a greater degree, and both the silver and the gold patterns are showing us the same thing on the 11th. So whether or not they're going to be up or down moves, it's going to be hard to say. We think that you're going to see some volatility here to the upside before you see it to the downside. This whole business with the budget limit hasn't taken hold yet, and it will. So I think we'll see a run up here on the S&P, and things might look better for probably into February, before things really start to get hairy, and then we might see a good move. The thing to watch out for here is the reports on inflation, not inflation itself, the reports on inflation. And I think you will start to see that pretty soon. And here's what our thinking is. We're thinking that there's a concerted move to hurt this economy, in the sense that on the basis of equality, not liberty, equality. And this movement is going to produce legislation on all levels that is definitely going to try to bring that about. For instance, there's a report coming out on fracking that says that it's completely safe, and it's a very prosperous endeavor. Our EPA is saying, "Oh, wait a minute, that's an outdated report. It's 12 months old. The report's 12 months old," and they're saying that, "Oh no, it's outdated, and we shouldn't base all of our conditions upon that one single report." Obviously, they've got other things in mind. It's going to take some time before the American public gets up on their hind legs and starts fighting. When that happens, just like with the Tea Party, when that happens, things will change. Until that time, the sheep will be led to the slaughter. And I include everybody who is not speaking up and doing something about this on some sort of level. You know, outrage, a broadly configured movement is what gets attention, right? And we're not doing that. That needs to be done. We need to have a meeting, okay? And talking about meeting, we're going to be restarting up some old meetings that we used to have, philosophical connections and group meetings for the discussion of philosophical issues, and a proposal or presentation of the potential theory that I have put forward in my 4 books. Those of you who may have an interest, please respond to our email on our site at www.masterpattern.net. And what we're going to do is we're going to have actual physical meetings, and then shortly after that we're then going to try and do webcam website type of configurations, so that we can bring in people from all over the country, in fact all over the world, that have expressed an interest in this. And I think you'll find that quite fascinating, because you will see your theories, your ideas, or non-ideas, whatever your situation is, as compared to the theory of potential, and where that lies in conjunction with any number of other philosophies or philosophers that you might be in touch with. I think it's time the gloves come off here. I'm not, at my age, trust me, ego isn't what it used to be. This is a matter of getting some things done that a lot of people think need to be done and need to be said. And I think the ideas that we want to present to you are things that I've worked on for over 30 years with a number of other people who have found it very beneficial and very rewarding and satisfying. And I think that what we need to do is we need to confront these modern day issues that philosophies is more accurate, and to see how they compare with what we're saying, and then start living them, because unless you put it into practice, it don't mean a thing. So we have to get off of the drawing board and onto the playing field, and get things moving on another level. And like I said, I've been saying for the past 4 years, I really don't care what people think about what I have to say. In a lot of respects of the theory of potential, that is. Not to say I'm not sensitive to people. I am very sensitive to people. But when it comes to the theory of potential, I know what I know, and nobody's going to tell me any different. Okay, I've done this for 30 years. I've seen it work with other people, including my family, and I've seen it not work because they're not applying it. Okay, it's the same thing with myself. So I think that it's important that I get this out to people. The stock market is a way of doing that. There are better concepts that I can present in people's personal financial notions of living their lives and applying themselves. So I definitely think that we need to come out and get together and discuss this and challenge each other and see where the weaknesses are which there aren't any with this particular this theory, and see how it really can help and apply ourselves to not only ourselves but to our families and to a state and a nation as well. Okay, so that's it. Listen, I'm leaving for beautiful Arizona tomorrow. Be gone for a while, but we will be transmitting from the desert. So I'll be looking forward to that. And for those of you, we're putting the call-ins on hold for a while because of that. But until that time, we still want to hear from you. Send us your comments and responses and questions and issues and interests on again, the website is www.masterpattern.net. Thanks, and be seeing you next week from sunny Arizona.